Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hello, hello.
Hi, teacher.
Great
How are you?
evening, teacher.
I'm doing good. Thank you. Mandy, please change your name. Cámbiate el nombre, porfa. En la sala Zoom.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Okay, guys. So let's start our class today, our session. Let's take a look at the agenda before we start. So first, we are going to do the warm-up activity. Is about the Earth Day. So tomorrow, April 22nd, is the International Earth Day. So we are going to do a short activity related to this. And then we will check the attendance and we will start working on unit 11, okay? We'll start with the listening, some explanation, then we will play a Kahoot, some extra practice on the book, and finally, a speaking and writing activity. Okay? Vamos a hacer primero la actividad del video relacionada con el Día de la Tierra y después tomamos la asistencia, ya que faltan algunos estudiantes. Okay? Let's open the link for the activity. Okay, so let's watch the video. So watch the video first and then we will do a word cloud. Vamos a hacer una lluvia de ideas con palabras clave del video. Okay, let's start watching it. Can you listen?
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Earth Day is an international day celebrated around the world to pledge support for environmental protection. Mother Earth is clearly urging a call to action. Nature is suffering. Forest fires, heat records, and acid rain, just to name a few. There are several things that you can do to help restore our Earth. Here are some examples for you to think about. Reduce the amount of meat that you eat. Cattle, sheep, and livestock have a huge carbon footprint. What is a carbon footprint? The term carbon footprint is how much carbon goes into the air because of something done by people, or that is not done by nature. We can reduce methane emissions by eating more plant-based foods. What is a plant-based diet? A plant-based diet includes vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, seeds, and nuts. How will this help? Methane is emitted during the production and transport of coal, natural gas, and oil. Methane emissions also result from livestock and other agricultural practices. For example, every time a cow burps or passes gas, a little puff of methane wafts into the atmosphere. Reducing the amount of meat you eat will help decrease the amount of gas released into the atmosphere. Eating plant-based foods will help use global farmland more efficiently. Shop locally. Always try to buy food that is local and in season. On average, imported food travels 2,500 kilometers before it reaches your plate. Avoid food with unnecessary and excessive packaging. Our landfills and oceans are becoming more and more clogged with plastic bags, food containers, disposable coffee cups, and more. It's clear that the convenience of food packaging is outweighed by the waste and pollution that the packaging leaves behind. Consider whether or not the things that you are buying have an effect on deforestation and endangered species. Plogging. The word plogging is the activity of picking up litter while jogging. The name comes from Sweden, but the act of combining sports with caring for your environment is something we can do worldwide. Not only is it healthy for the environment, it's healthy for you. Recycle. To rinse or not to rinse your recyclables? That is the question. And if you do need to rinse, what about sticky stuff? Like salad dressing that clings to the sides of the container. A quick rinse is fine. You don't need to scrub those plastic and glass containers with soap and water to make them clean enough to eat off of. But taking a moment to give them a rinse will ensure that they end up getting processed. Don't just throw them into the trash. Recycle. Save water. Shorter showers save water and the energy it takes to heat that water. It may not seem like much if you cut down gradually, but by the end of the year, the total amount of energy and water saved is huge. Of course, everyone enjoys a long shower, but a minute a day will make a huge difference. Take full advantage of daylight hours. If you can, get up earlier and make good use of daylight hours. When you're in bed earlier, you'll need less lighting, and overall, you save on energy consumption. Take a moment to think about what steps you can take to restore our Earth. We are all in this together. Let's each do our part.
All right, very good. Okay, guys, don't worry. I haven't checked the attendance yet. Aún no he revisado la asistencia. Entonces vamos a hacer la actividad del video y después la revisamos. ¿Ok? Entonces, ya vimos el video. We watched the video. Now we are going to answer, include some questions, important keywords from the video in the activity. Let me take here. Okay, let me send it again. Okay, I will send you the link for the activity. All right, so please go to the link and write some keywords, key elements from the video. What do you remember about the Earth Day? Like recycle, save water, whatever. Okay, so let's let's do it. Go to the link, include some keywords from the video. Okay, we are waiting for all of you to participate in the activity. Only 5 students have participated.
Teacher,
Plan.
sorry, I lost my connection. I'm back.
Okay, no
You take
problem.
attendance, I'm back.
No, I haven't checked attendance yet. Aún no he revisado la asistencia. Okay, recycle, CO2, plant-based diet, dieta basada en plantas. Recycle, save water, save energy, reduce coal, CO2. Okay, let's give 2 more minutes for all the other students to participate. Remember, you watch the video, include some keywords from what we studied. Eat less meat, yes. Protect the environment, very good. All right, okay, no more. All right, guys, good. So now we are going to start checking the attendance for today's class. Let's see. Karen Acevedo.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Oh, wait. Steven Fonseca.
Here, teacher.
Okay. Sergio Gómez.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Chiara Martínez.
Present, teacher.
Jorge Moreno.
Present, teacher.
Natalia Navarro.
Present.
Okay. Diego Olarte.
Present, teacher.
Manuela Ortiz.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Joan Pavón.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Beatriz Pedraza.
Teacher.
Xiomara Rincón.
Present.
Okay. Jessica Ríos.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Catherine Rodríguez.
Present, Miss.
Marlon Sánchez.
Present, teacher.
All right. Mendy Santa. Mendy. No está. Manuel Sepúlveda. Manuel. Okay. María Alejandra.
Present, teacher.
Okay. And Vanessa. Okay. Okay, guys, so we can start today. Let's take a look. All right. So today we finished Unit 10. We will start Unit 11 today in these 2 hours of class. let's take a look at the topics that we are going to cover for this unit or during this unit. Okay, Mandy. First, obligation and permission. So we are going to review the use of modal verbs to talk about obligation and permission. First in the present, and in the next part is about the past, okay? Then we have the vocabulary, our linking words related, and also crime and punishment. This is discuss new laws. This is the task, okay? So unit 11 is related to rules, prohibition, obligation, permission, etc. Okay? So let's see. Before we start with the listening and introducing the vocabulary, we're going to think in our group at least of one rule that you can find, that you would find in these places. Motorways. Do you know what is a motorway? What is this motorway?
Motos acuáticos. No.
No, it's when you go on
Como
a
vía.
highway. Yes, similar a highway, motorway, autopista. Okay, so the cars can stop. Los carros no se pueden detener. Son 3, 4, 5 carriles. Okay, this is a motorway. Then we have classrooms, libraries. Libraries are bibliotecas, swimming pools, airports, websites, nightclubs, and parks and open spaces. All right. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to think about at least one rule that you would find in each of these places. Okay. This is page 106 and 107. Okay, let's have 3 minutes and then we will socialize, discuss your answers. All right, guys, so you had some minutes to think about your answers. Let's start discussing and checking. Let's start with Beatriz. Beatriz, what is one rule for motorways or highways?
I find in airports, teacher,
No for motorways. Para la primera, para autopistas, what is the rule? Una regla de las autopistas, ¿cuál puede ser?
don't drive in major.
No, Beatriz, your connection is cutting.
Oh, no hear very well, teacher.
No, no, se te está entrecortando. But okay, we have an example on the chat. Jorge says, if you have an accident, you will call the police. So if it's a rule, we can say you must call the police or you have to call the police. Yes, Diego?
Don't exceed the speed limit.
Yes, very important. Don't exceed the speed limit in the motorway. Okay, good. Joanne, for airports, what is the rule for airports?
Okay, rules for airports and maybe be on time to fly.
For your flight, yes, be on time for your flight. This is a good rule. Okay, thank you. Let's see, Jorge, for classrooms, what is the rule for classrooms?
Don't receive calls during the class.
Yes, don't receive calls or talk on the phone during class. Okay, good. Karen, what is a rule for websites?
Don't do spam.
Okay, yeah, don't do spam in the website. Good. Catherine, for libraries, what is a rule for libraries?
Miss, maybe don't speak loud.
Yeah, don't talk loudly.
Don't talk loudly. Yes.
Okay, good.
Maybe don't eat.
Don't eat, yeah, in the library is also not allowed. Okay, Chiara, for nightclubs, what is a rule for nightclubs?
Only, sorry, teacher. Only adults.
Yes, so you have to be over 18 years old to enter the nightclub. All right, Manuel, for swimming pools, what is the rule for swimming pools?
Don't run around the pool.
Yes, very important. Do not run around the pool because you might slip and fall to the pool, to the water, and hit your head. Can be very dangerous. So it's important. Maria Alejandra, for a park and open spaces, what can be a rule?
You have to have a good attitude in the place.
Okay, yeah, you have to have a good attitude. Maybe you don't throw trash on the floor. Yes, this is the word is litter. You don't litter. Cuando decimos botar basura al piso, esta es la palabra. You don't litter in the park or in an open space. All right, guys. Now we are going to start with the listening activity. We're going to listen to 5 people complaining about a rule they find annoying. What is complaining? Do you know complaining? No, what's the meaning of this word? To complain.
¿Se quejan, Miss?
Yes, good. So, quejarse. So we are going to listen to 5 people complaining about a rule that they find annoying. Una regla que les parece molesta, fastidiosa, okay? We're going to answer these 2 questions. First, which place in exercise number 1 is each person talking about? ¿De cuál lugar están hablando estas personas? Okay. And 2, we're going to find the photos that the rules refer to. So here you have all the pictures. Picture A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I, okay? So we are going to start listening and answer these 2 questions. First, which is the place? Is it a motorway, an airport, classroom, etc.? And second, we are going to match the complaint to the rule, okay? For the photos of the rule, okay? Let's start.
Unit 11, recording 1.
Okay, is it okay, they're listening?
Yes, Miss.
Okay.
One
thing that really annoys me is when there are parks and open spaces and they have signs saying no ball games. I mean, everyone complains about children these days not getting enough exercise and hanging around on street corners and things. But then they don't allow them to play anywhere or do anything. Kids should have the right to play in public places. Otherwise, they're going to get into trouble, aren't they?
2.
One thing that really annoys me is speed cameras on motorways. I mean, everyone breaks the law on motorways, don't they? I don't even think speeding on motorways is really dangerous. I think the police should be really tough on people who speed in towns and cities, because obviously that can be dangerous. But speed cameras and speeding fines on motorways are just a way for the government to make money, aren't they? Why don't the police spend their time catching real criminals instead?
3.
One rule that really annoys me is that you always have to tick the box to say that you've read the terms and conditions on a website. If you want to buy something or, I don't know, become a member of something, then you've got to tick that box, and you're not allowed to continue if you don't tick the box. And that's really unfair. And there are usually about 100 pages of terms and conditions. I mean, who reads all of that? I know I should read it, but I don't. And I don't think anyone does. And anyway, even if I did read it, I wouldn't be able to understand it. It's crazy. It really annoys me.
4.
I think it's really unfair that mobile phones are banned in class and even in some restaurants and places. I mean, I know it's illegal to use your phone when you're driving or something like that, and that's perfectly reasonable because obviously it's dangerous. But there's no point in banning phones in schools. They're part of everyone's life now, and everyone looks at their phone if they quickly want to get some information on the internet or whatever. Okay, maybe there should be rules about what you can and can't do with your phone. I mean, obviously you shouldn't be allowed to have a phone conversation in the middle of a lesson, but it's not fair to actually ban phones.
5.
One thing that really annoys me is having to show ID to go into nightclubs and bars. I'm 23 and I still have to show ID to prove that I'm over 18. It's ridiculous. People say I ought to be pleased that I look young, but I'm not. It drives me mad.
Okay, guys, have you got the answers, the places and the pictures to match to each rule? Or not? Have you got all the answers or not?
No, teacher.
No? All right, so let's just listen one more time, okay?
Okay,
So
teacher.
you can answer the question. First, the places from the box, motorway, classroom, website. So number 1, what place? And also select the picture that the rule is referring to.
Unit 11, recording 1. 1.
One thing that really annoys me is when there are parks and open spaces and they have signs saying no ball games. I mean, everyone complains about children these days not getting enough exercise and hanging around on street corners and things. But then they don't allow them to play anywhere or do anything. Kids should have the right to play in public places. Otherwise, they're going to get into trouble, aren't they?
2.
One thing that really annoys me is speed cameras on motorways. I mean, everyone breaks the law on motorways, don't they? I don't even think speeding on motorways is really dangerous. I think the police should be really tough on people who speed in towns and cities, because obviously that can be dangerous. But speed cameras and speeding fines on motorways are just a way for the government to make money, aren't they? Why don't the police spend their time catching real criminals instead?
3.
One rule that really annoys me is that you always have to tick the box to say that you've read the terms and conditions on a website. If you want to buy something or, I don't know, become a member of something, then you've got to tick that box and you're not allowed to continue if you don't tick the box. And that's really unfair. And there are usually about 100 pages of terms and conditions. I mean, who reads all of that? I know I should read it, but I don't. And I don't think anyone does. And anyway, even if I did read it, I wouldn't be able to understand it. It's crazy. It really annoys me.
4.
I think it's really unfair that mobile phones are banned in class and even in some restaurants and places. I mean, I know it's illegal to use your phone when you're driving or something like that, and that's perfectly reasonable because obviously it's dangerous. But there's no point in banning phones in schools. They're part of everyone's life now, and everyone looks at their phone if they quickly want to get some information on the internet or whatever. Okay, maybe there should be rules about what you can and can't do with your phone. I mean, obviously you shouldn't be allowed to have a phone conversation in the middle of a lesson, but it's not fair to actually ban phones.
5.
One thing that really annoys me is having to show ID to go into nightclubs and bars. I'm 23 and I still have to show ID to prove that I'm over 18. It's ridiculous. People say I ought to be pleased that I look young, but I'm not. It drives me mad.
Okay, so we have the listening. Now let's check. The first conversation, Marlon, what is the place? What place?
Open spaces.
is parks and open spaces.
Space.
Yes. And what is the picture that is referring to?
Ball games.
So picture D. This is picture D, no ball games. All right, good. Number 2, Mendy. What is the place and the picture?
Teacher, excuse me, I don't have the answer.
Natalia, what's the answer?
The picture A.
Picture A, And what is the place?
Motorways.
It's motorways, yes.
Motorways.
Good. Continue, Catherine. I saw your hand. So what's number 3?
And she's talking about websites, terms and conditions. Yes. Letter A.
Letter
E.
C.
No, it means click here to show that agree.
E. Is the website and the letter is E. Okay. Let's see. Continue. Manuela.
Sorry, teacher, can you repeat me?
The number 4.
No, teacher, I can hear you.
Okay, then Beatriz. What is number 4?
Classrooms.
Is it classroom? Yeah. And what is the rule?
Letter B.
Letter B. About cell phones. And the last, maybe we ask Sergio. What is the last place that they mentioned?
Teacher, nightclub.
Nightclubs. And what is the picture?
The picture is number C.
Yes, picture C. Under 21, please, if you look under 21, please do not be offended if we ask you to prove of age when you buy alcohol. Yes, very good. Okay, guys. So we are going to, I don't know if you need to listen again or if you remember, why exactly do these people think these rules are annoying? Ok, vamos a ver por qué exactamente ellos encuentran estas reglas molestas o fastidiosas. Do you remember or do you need to listen again? So,
I remember some.
You remember some? What about the other students?
Teacher, I can remember some too.
Yeah, you remember some information. Okay.
I also remember a few, but I think it could be better if we can listen it again.
If we listen one more time. All right, so be prepared to take some notes. Quickly, why is this person annoyed? What's the reason for each rule that they are annoyed with? Okay, let's listen the last time and you take some notes.
Unit 11, Recording 1. 1.
One thing that really annoys me is when there are parks and open spaces and they have signs saying no ball games. I mean, everyone complains about children these days not getting enough exercise and hanging around on street corners and things. But then they don't allow them to play anywhere or do anything. Kids should have the right to play in public places. Otherwise, they're going to get into trouble, aren't they?
2.
One thing that really annoys me is speed cameras on motorways. I mean, everyone breaks the law on motorways, don't they? I don't even think speeding on motorways is really dangerous. I think the police should be really tough on people who speed in towns and cities, because obviously that can be dangerous. But speed cameras and speeding fines on motorways are just a way for the government to make money, aren't they? Why don't the police spend their time catching real criminals instead?
3.
One rule that really annoys me is that you always have to tick the box to say that you've read the terms and conditions on a website. If you want to buy something or, I don't know, become a member of something, then you've got to tick that box, and you're not allowed to continue if you don't tick the box. And that's really unfair. And there are usually about 100 pages of terms and conditions. I mean, who reads all of that? I know I should read it, but I don't. And I don't think anyone does. And anyway, even if I did read it, I wouldn't be able to understand it. It's crazy. It really annoys me.
4.
I think it's really unfair that mobile phones are banned in class and even in some restaurants and places. I mean, I know it's illegal to use your phone when you're driving or something like that, and that's perfectly reasonable because obviously it's dangerous. But there's no point in banning phones in schools. They're part of everyone's life now, and everyone looks at their phone if they quickly want to get some information on the internet or whatever. Okay, maybe there should be rules about what you can and can't do with your phone. I mean, obviously you shouldn't be allowed to have a phone conversation in the middle of a lesson, but it's not fair to actually ban phones.
5.
One thing that really annoys me is having to show ID to go into nightclubs and bars. I'm 23 and I still have to show ID to prove that I'm over 18. It's ridiculous. People say I ought to be pleased that I look young, but I'm not. It drives me mad.
All right, guys. Ready? You have some notes about each. Okay, let's check. So for the first person is about parks and it's about no ball games. Let's see, maybe Maria Alejandra, what notes did you get? Why is this person annoyed?
Because everyone wants to play or do exercise.
Yeah, because some people complain about children not exercising enough, but the children are not allowed to play in the parks. So it's like a contradiction, right? So if you complain about children that they should exercise more, then they should be permitted or allowed to play in the parks, right? This is the reason for number 1. Now for number 2, let's see, maybe we can listen to Xiomara. What did you get for the second complaint? Is about motorways and speeding. What did you understand?
Teacher, because speed cameras, speed things on motorways are just a way for the government.
Yes, so she says that the speeding tickets in the highway or motorway are for the government to make money. Dice que es por el dinero, ¿no? Que en las autopistas, pues particularmente en estos países como el Reino Unido y Estados Unidos son muy amplias y no hay peatones. Entonces, que no hay peligros de ir a velocidades altas, ¿ok? Entonces, que no debería haber esos límites de velocidad en las highways. Okay, and the next one, let's see, maybe Kiara for the website to tick all the boxes. The terms and conditions. Kiara?
Yes, teacher, but I don't understand when he...
Why it's annoying? ¿Por qué es molesto para él?
I don't understand when he is speaking about the terms.
Okay, anyone got any idea of why is this annoying for him?
Yes, miss, because he says that is 100 of pages than anyone read that. Reading.
Yes, he says, this is very long, los términos y condiciones son extra largos, entonces que nadie los lee o que nadie los entiende. Si los leen, it's difficult to understand. So this is annoying for him, that he has to click, yes, I read and I agree with all the terms, but you don't read it all, right? This is annoying. Then for the number 4, let's see, maybe Jorge, for the mobile phone in class.
Okay. She said that there is not reason to forbidden the phones at the school.
Yes, that you can use your cell phone for to find information. Obviously not receive a call, but you can use it to search for information. Eso es lo que dice ella, que no debe estar prohibido totalmente, sino solamente recibir llamadas y no por completo. And the last one, Diego, the show ID in bars.
Yes, teacher. She's 18 years old and she wants to go at nightclub, but the nightclub only accept people they have 21 years old.
Okay.
And she considers that she's an unjust because she's a adult.
Okay. Okay, not really. La razón no es porque ya tiene 18 y solo aceptan a de 21. La razón es que ella tiene 23. She's 23 years old. And all the time she has to show her ID. Aunque ella tiene 23, siempre tiene que mostrar su identificación para probar que es mayor de 18. So she doesn't like this. She says it's annoying for her, okay? This is the reason that she doesn't like it. Okay?
Okay, teacher.
So yeah, I think this exercise was a bit more difficult. You can see the audios, the listening go up in difficulty. Now they are getting a lot more complex, longer. So it's good for you to exercise listening and taking notes of longer audios, okay? Ya vemos que los audios nos van alargando, ya no son oraciones tan cortas, sino debemos ejercitar y practicar el escuchar audios largos y tomar algunos apuntes de puntos principales o de palabras principales, okay? Just keep that in mind. All right, guys, but we are done with the listening part. Let's take a look at the language focus, or the grammatical part is for obligation and permission, okay? So here we have a set of rules, okay? We have a set of rules and you're going to cross out, so mark the incorrect sentence in each group. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? For example, you have to read the terms and conditions. You should read the terms and conditions. You can't read the terms and conditions. ¿Cuál es la incorrecta? La última, ¿no? Tú tienes que leer los términos y condiciones. Tú debes leer los términos y condiciones. Tú no puedes leer los términos y condiciones. So the incorrect is the last one, number 3, okay? So you are going to do the same with exercise 1, 2, 3, and 4. Read all the rules and cross out the incorrect one. Okay, let's take 5 minutes to do it. Then when you finish, we will check all together. Okay?
Miss, Miss,
All right, guys, please let me know when you are ready.
Miss, I have a question.
Yes, tell me.
You ought to. What is the meaning ought to?
Ought to is similar to should, okay? In meaning is similar to should.
Deber.
Yes.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, guys, so we had 5 minutes to do the activity. Let's check all together. So for the first group of sentences, you can play ball games here. You are not allowed to play ball games here. You mustn't play ball games here. Which one is the incorrect? It doesn't belong.
You can't.
You can is the first. The other two says you are not allowed and you mustn't. Estas dos tienen un significado similar. No tienes permitido jugar juegos de pelota acá o no debes jugar juegos de pelota acá. Y esta dice que sí. Entonces, ¿cuál es la que no pertenece? Y según lo que vimos en las fotos, no ball games here es la primera, ¿cierto? You can play ball games here. This is incorrect in this case. For the second, you are not allowed to use your phone in the lesson. You can't use your phone in the lesson. And you are, guys, give me just a minute, sorry. And then we continue. Okay, sorry guys, we can continue. So you're not allowed to use your phone in this lesson. You can't use your phone in this lesson, or you ought to use your phone in this lesson.
You ought to
You
use.
ought to, yeah, this is the incorrect one in this case. Continue. Number 3, you are allowed to drive at 120 kilometers per hour on most motorways. You have to drive at 120 kilometers. You don't have to drive at 170 kilometers on motorways.
You don't have to.
Yes, the incorrect is number 3. You don't have to drive at 120 kilometers on a motorway. And the last one, you have to show ID to prove your age. You must show ID to prove your age, or you shouldn't show ID to prove your age.
The last one.
The last one, yes, you shouldn't show ID to prove your age. Very good. All right, guys. So we are going to check the grammatical part very quickly on page 162. Let's go to page 162 in the book. Okay. Joanne is here in class. Vanessa is here in class. It's not. Okay. All right. So let's take a look. On page 162, we have a chart with the different modal verbs that we can use. Okay. Let's take a look. We can say you can go, you must go, or you should go. Aquí están divididos en cuando usamos la preposición to o no. Entonces, con can, must y should, el verbo va solito, ¿ok? You can go, you must go, or you should go. Con los siguientes, you are allowed, you have got, or you ought. Con esto debemos usar siempre la preposición to antes del verbo. You are allowed to go, you have to go, you have got to go. Este have y have got tienen el mismo significado. And you ought to go, ¿ok? Entonces, con estos, can, must y should, el verbo va solito. Con los siguientes, siempre debemos usar la preposición to, ¿ok? No puedo decir you ought go. No. Always with the preposition to, ¿ok? We have now the negative form. You can't, you mustn't, or you shouldn't. Agregamos la contracción del not, ¿ok? You can't go, you mustn't go, and you shouldn't go. For the others, you are not allowed, or you aren't allowed, como quieran, este se puede abreviar al sujeto, you're not allowed, o you aren't allowed. Hay dos opciones ahí. You're not allowed to go, you don't have to go, o you haven't got to go. El ought to no tiene o no se usa en la forma negativa, ¿ok? Solo es en oraciones positivas. All right? And for questions, ponemos el modal al principio, ¿no? Can I go? Should I go? Can I go? Should I go? Am I allowed to go? Entonces acá usamos de cada sujeto, ¿no? Aquí como es you, usamos el are, allowed. En este caso, como hablo del I, entonces el auxiliar que voy a usar es el am. Am I allowed to go? ¿Tengo permitido irme? Am I allowed to go? Do I have to go? Have I got to go? Okay. This is the correct structure for the questions using allowed, have to, and have I got to. Yes?
Which is the difference between have to go and have go to go?
Yes, okay, let's check. Actually, there is not a difference in meaning. No hay diferencia en significado, okay? The meaning is exactly the same. Let's take a look at this explanation. Entonces, el verbo have, sujeto, verbo have o has, okay? Esa es la estructura básica, el del tener. Acá en las negativas es sujeto más el auxiliar don't más el verbo have. She doesn't have, I don't have, ¿ok? Y en las preguntas lo mismo. Do you have? Does she have? ¿Ok? Esa es la que ya conocemos, el have solito. El have got es una forma diferente para expresar lo mismo, el have, ¿ok? Este se usa para no usar el auxiliar do. Entonces, vemos cómo se convierte. El have got es como repetir el verbo tener dos veces, have got. Pero la traducción es el tener, have got. Sino que ahora el have es el auxiliar, ¿ok? Es como la forma del perfecto que vimos. I have visited my family. I have eaten food, ¿ok? Cuando ese have tiene la función de auxiliar, entonces acá sería eso, como el he tenido, ¿ok? Pero el significado es el mismo. Lo que cambia es la estructura gramatical. Entonces, cuando tengo have got, miren cómo funciona la oración. I have got a dog. She has got a dog. ¿Ok? Para las negativas sería I haven't got a dog. Ahí uso el haven't como auxiliar de ese got, ¿no? I haven't got a dog. No tengo un perro. He hasn't got a cat. Él no tiene un gato. ¿Ok? Entonces, esa idea de él tiene o él no tiene, la puedo expresar de las dos maneras. He doesn't have cat o he hasn't got a cat. ¿Ok? Es lo mismo. ¿Qué pasa? Que el have got es más informal y es más común usado de la manera hablada. ¿Ok? El doesn't have es más comúnmente usado en la forma escrita. Y en la forma oral la gente siempre dice I haven't got a car, ¿ok? I haven't got time, no tengo tiempo, ¿ok? Entonces, esa es como la diferencia entre los dos. Okay, questions about have got? Or no questions? Is it clear?
Es en presente.
Sí, o sea, como una manera de entenderlo como estructuralmente sería como lo que hemos visto del presente perfecto, ¿no? De I have visited my mom, ¿ok? Yo he visitado, ahí el have sería el auxiliar, acá es igual. El have ya no es el verbo principal, sino es como el auxiliar del got, del obtener, ¿ok? Pero el significado es el mismo, es el de pertenencia, de tener. Have o has she got a cell phone? Ella tiene un celular, ¿ok? La diferencia, no hay ninguna diferencia de significado, es estructural y sí debemos tenerla muy presente cuál es cada una de las estructuras, con solo have y con have got, ¿ok?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, let's continue. Okay, so the questions, do I have to go or have I got to go? So let's read quickly. Let's see when we talk about something necessary or not necessary. Entonces vamos a verlos rápidamente cuando usamos cada uno. We use must, have to, have got to, plus the verb to talk about something that's necessary or important. Para algo necesario o importante usamos el must, have to y have got to. El deber y el tener que es igual. Have to o have got to son la misma estructura. We must be at the airport by 7. He has to take medicine every day for his asthma. I have got to find a telephone. Entonces, el must, has to o el got to más el verbo para hablar de algo importante o necesario. ¿Ok? They are all very similar. Todos son muy similares. Vamos a ver cuáles son esas pequeñas diferencias. Must shows that the obligation comes from the person speaking. El must implica que la obligación viene de la persona que habla. We must be more careful. Yo digo que esto es importante, ¿no? La obligación es como autoimpuesta. We must be more careful, ¿ok? Cuando usamos have to y have got to, the obligation is from another person, ¿ok? It's something that's necessary. Entonces, el have to implica que es una obligación que alguien me impone, ¿ok? Puede ser regla, es un hecho, esto es necesario. For example, all young men in this country have to do military service. Esto no es que yo diga, oh, sí, todos deben cumplir servicio militar. No, es que todos tienen que, ¿ok? Es impuesto a mí. Have to do military service. Is the government says, ¿ok? Mandado por el gobierno. O Jake has got to do his exams. No solo en situaciones tan extremas o institucionales, sino en este también. Jake has got to do his exams. Él tiene que hacer sus exámenes. ¿Quién le dice? Jake, no. Es su profesora, ¿no? O su profesor le impone esta tarea. ¿Ok? Also, there are differences in formality. Must is in written form. Entonces, must se usa en formas escritas, public notices como noticias públicas o anuncios públicos. All visitors must report to reception. Como para comunicados usamos el must. Y have to y have got to are more speaking. Esos son más para la expresión oral. ¿Ok? Must no lo usamos en preguntas. En preguntas casi siempre usamos have to o ese es el más común, el have to. Do I have to sign here? ¿Debo firmar acá o tengo que firmar acá? No usamos el must para las preguntas, ¿ok? So this is like the summary, el pequeño resumen de must, has to y have got to. Questions? Okay. Continue. All right. Then we have don't have to and haven't got to. When we talk about that something that's not necessary. Entonces, recordemos la diferencia en significado entre el mustn't y el don't have to. Son totalmente diferentes, ¿no? En su forma positiva, el must y el have to son similares. Debo o tengo que, ¿cierto? Pero en la forma negativa, su significado cambia mucho. Si yo digo mustn't, I mustn't talk on the phone. No debo hablar por teléfono. Ahí es una prohibición. Pero si me dicen, you don't have to be in class all 2 hours. No tienes que estar en la clase las 2 horas. Entonces, ahí es una prohibición. Yes or no? Is a prohibition?
No,
No.
son si quieres o no quieres.
Exactamente, es algo que no es necesario hacer, ¿ok? Entonces, vemos cómo cambia el significado. Por ejemplo, people don't have to vote if they don't want to. Es algo que no tengo que hacer si no quiero. Las personas no tienen que votar si no quieren, ¿ok? O we haven't got to be there till 10. No tenemos que estar allí hasta las 10. Me puedo ir a las 9:30, me puedo ir a las 9, ¿ok? Entonces, la diferencia en significado entre mustn't y don't have to o haven't got to, ¿ok? Okay, now we talk about can or be allowed to. Para cosas que tenemos permitidas hacer. Can o be allowed to. No, sorry. El can normalmente, como lo usamos, you can park here after 6:30 p.m. Puedes parquear acá después de las 6:30. My brother is allowed to borrow my father's car. Entonces, este verbo del be allowed to siempre debe concordar con el sujeto. Si yo digo you, ¿cuál será ahí la forma correcta del be? Yo digo, tú tienes permitido jugar en el teléfono. You
are allowed to play.
You are allowed to play on the phone, ¿sí? Entonces, este be siempre va, concuerda con el sujeto. Si es he, she, you, we, ¿ok? Siempre debemos tener cuidado con eso. Entonces, acá es el ejemplo. My brother is allowed to borrow my father's car. Mi hermano tiene permitido pedir prestado el carro de mi papá, ¿ok? Entonces, ese be allowed to, tener permitido, es similar, el allowed to, ¿ok? Ahora, para las cosas que no podemos o no tenemos permitidas, ahí usamos el mustn't, not allowed to, or can't, ¿ok? For something that is prohibited, ¿ok? Members of the audience must not or mustn't take photographs during the performance. Esto es un anuncio escrito, no formal. Los miembros de la audiencia no deben tomar fotografías durante la presentación. Must not is a prohibition. You are not allowed to or you can't take photos during the performance. Acá la diferencia nuevamente es el must es muy usado para anuncios públicos, en parques, en eventos. Siempre vemos la prohibición o el permiso con el must. Y en la forma hablada usamos más el allowed to o el can't. You can't take photos during the performance or you are not allowed to take photos during the performance. All right? And then the final part is what is a good idea or isn't a good idea. Pues ya pasamos de lo que es necesario, debemos hacer, lo que no debemos hacer y lo que es una sugerencia, ¿no? No es tan intenso como el must o el have to, sino es una sugerencia, es una buena idea. O lo correcto, es a good idea or the correct thing to do. En esos casos usamos should. We use should to say that something is a good idea or that it is correct. For example, you should try this ice cream. Deberías probar este helado. It's delicious. Es una buena idea que lo pruebes, ¿ok? Those books are in the wrong place. They should be in the fiction section. Los libros están en el lugar equivocado. Deberían estar en la parte de ficción. Okay, it's the correct thing. Should is weaker than have to or must. Entonces siempre va a ser have to, must y después viene el should. El should no es una orden. Okay, siempre será más una sugerencia o lo que es una buena idea. It is often to give advice or make suggestions. Lo usamos para dar consejos o hacer sugerencias. Y bueno, ahora el ought to, lo que les estaba diciendo antes. El ought to is the same meaning as should. Significa lo mismo que el should, ¿no? It is not usually used in questions or negative forms. Entonces, la forma del ought to la usamos en oraciones positivas solamente. You ought to be more careful. Debería ser más cuidadosos. Okay? So it's important to remember all the different rules for must, have to, don't have to, mustn't, but it's easy. We already know all this vocabulary. Ya conocemos este vocabulario. Lo que estamos repasando es como el uso específico de cada uno, ¿cierto? Questions?
Yes, teacher. Allowed is more serious than should.
Yes, of course. This is what is permitted. Entonces, la diferencia lo que vimos es, esto es lo que debo hacer, es necesario hacer, el must y el have to. Acá es lo que puedo hacer, lo que tengo permitido hacer, ¿no? Entonces, you are allowed to, a un niño, you are allowed to play until 7 p.m. Tienes permitido, ¿no? Es lo que tienes permiso de hacer. El should es lo que es una buena idea o una sugerencia que te estoy dando, un consejo, ¿ok? Entonces, sí, obviamente el allowed to es una imposición, es lo que tienes permitido o lo que no tienes permitido. All right?
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Okay. Okay, guys, so let's, I have a little Kahoot. It's very easy. Just to review the use of some of these modal verbs, let me open the link so you can join and we will practice together. Give me just a moment. Okay, let's join the game. Okay, 12 students, let's start. Okay, the last question. Okay, good. Let's check the results. Okay, well done, Manuel, the winner for today. Then Marlon and number 3, Manuela. Very good. Okay, guys, this was just a short practice to prepare for our practice in the book. Let's go back to the page. The original page, Unit 11, is page 106. Okay, so let's take a look at the exercise here in page 107. Okay, page 107, you have here practice number 1. Find the signs that these sentences refer to. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the verb in brackets. Según los letreros que tenemos acá, vamos a crear la regla con el verbo que tenemos en el paréntesis. Allow, have, should, ought, must. ¿Ok? Usando el verbo que nos dan, creamos la regla según las imágenes. Por ejemplo, la primera, for example, number 1. The public allowed to come in here. Sería esta. ¿Cómo creen que quede? ¿Positiva o negativa?
Is not.
The
Negative.
public, sí, the public isn't allowed. El público, digamos que es eso, ¿no? It is not allowed to come in here. ¿Ok? Entonces usamos el verbo que tenemos acá según la foto. Si está permitido o no está permitido, lo pueden hacer o no. ¿Ok? Let's have some minutes and then we will check together. Okay, guys, please let me know when you finished so we will check together. Right? Ready? Let's start checking, guys. All right, let's start. Okay, good. With Sergio, the second one. How did you complete the second sentence, Sergio?
Teacher, the second one, cyclists are allowed to use this path.
Yes, it's correct. Cyclists are allowed to use this path. Correct. Okay, good. Number 3, Jessica. How did you complete number 3?
Cyclists are
number 3. You.
You do have to cycle on this path.
Yes. You don't have to cycle in on this path. You. ¿Puedes continuar la siguiente oración?
You're allowed to talk to walk if you prefer.
Yes. You don't have to cycle in on this path. You are allowed to walk if you prefer. Okay, good. Marlon, number 4, please.
You have to show your passport or identify card.
Identity card.
Identity card. You, sorry, you have them ready. You shouldn't have.
Sorry, let me check. You should or you shouldn't have them ready.
You should have them ready.
You have to show your passport or identity card. You should have them ready. Ok, esa hace referencia a acá, creo que sería esta. Tienes que mostrarlo, ok? You have to show your identity. You should have them ready. Deberías tenerlas listas. Natalia, number 5.
Teacher, I don't have that answer.
You don't have the answer? Okay, no problem. Let's see, maybe Catherine?
Yes, Miss. The last one?
No, number 5.
You ought to be careful walking here.
Yes, you ought to be careful walking here. Is this for H, picture H. Okay, and Beatriz, number 6.
Teacher, sorry, number 5 is no sería como, no es seguro caminar aquí.
Lo que te dice el ought, ¿qué es el ought? ¿Recuerdas qué significa?
Debería.
Debería, sí. Entonces acá dice ser cuidadoso, careful.
Ah, ok.
Ok, entonces sí, debería ser cuidadoso caminando por aquí, porque es deslizante, ¿cómo se dice? Bueno,
sí.
Slippery
Okay.
situation.
Okay.
Okay, the last one, Beatriz.
The last one. You mustn't wear a hat or hoodie.
Hoodie?
You should remove them before entering.
You mustn't wear, it's for picture I. You mustn't wear a hat or hoodie. Hoodie es una capota. You
Lo que le decimos acá como buzo.
Sí, la capota del buzo es el hoodie, tal cual. You should remove it before entering. All right? Okay, guys. Any questions about the use of the modals for obligation? No? Clear? Okay,
No,
listen, guys. Good. So we are going to complete this as homework for Monday. So point number 2, complete the sentences with a suitable verb to make them true for our city. So here, we are obviously not going to do the last one about trains. So let's do number 1 and 2, in city centers and on roads, okay? So you have total of 8 sentences. Van a escribir oraciones usando los verbos que vimos, los verbos modales, para hablar de nuestra ciudad, ¿ok? Reglas de nuestra ciudad, ¿ok?
Okay, Miss.
Okay, this is homework for Monday. We will check it at the beginning of the class. Okay, guys, that is all for today. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Good night.
Bye, thank you.
Teacher.